Igung has the words of Maurice Roland and André Picot, translated from the French by Uyen Elm. Directed by Wolfram Roseman. Haven't you had lunch yet? No, I've been waiting for you. So, how did it go? Well, as expected. They all behaved very nicely toward me, but I shouldn't be harboring any expectations. Recession everywhere you look. Nothing but recession. Michelin was more open. There are layout designers everywhere. Tell me, weren't you wearing anything? Why? Well, today is the grand prize for literature being awarded. Yes, it's being awarded today. But if he'd been after me, I'd know that. At least, I'd have gotten the word unofficially. Don't be so pleading. You know exactly how these literary prizes are awarded. When are they just not on the ball? If I were with Gallimard, yes, then I would have a chance. But Gallimard has nothing to do with my translations of Japanese novels. After all, Wonnerin has been trying really hard lately. But that's not for me. I'm not looking to push myself to the forefront. If you want to listen to the news, I won't stop you from doing so. Do you believe in the anonymity of manuscripts? Well, I'm not at all surprised. Goodbye. Your Lies are an excellent novel. Philip K. is one of my best authors. Philip, do you hear me? I hope he's sitting in front of the screen. If it's the case, he should shed his modesty, because I truly have nothing but the highest praise for him. Philip, ladies and gentlemen, that was our special broadcast. Philip, say something. This can't be true. But Philip, you're not screaming. You're not jumping up and down. You're not hugging me. Don't you still believe it? I'm numb. No, I didn't believe it anymore. So everything went perfectly fine. Don't push. No, yes, sweetheart. I just have to hug you. All I want to know is why he hasn't made that phone call yet. Look, that must be him. I'm dreaming. I'll wake up in a minute. Hello. Yes, I just found out about it on TV. So you really didn't know anything about it? Yes, I understand. Of course I'm happy, especially, but I'm speechless. Tomorrow, in Athena's class. Listen. Can you hear that? I'm sure I have stage fright, but I'll manage. What? No, I definitely am. I want to thank you. We'll come over this evening. See you later, monsieur. The book is even supposed to be made into a film. It's not that far yet. You've heard. That's almost certain. Oh, darling, it's simply wonderful. This takes place at the very instant when our hope began to wane, and we both succumbed to despair. I lift my glass to Philip Kiss's first success, and to all the subsequent successes that will follow. Add, Your Lies are just the beginning of a long series of bestsellers. Cheers, Philip. Thank you. Excuse me. I would also like to toast with my wife, but please allow me. My head is starting to spin. I have to be everywhere at once. Philip, could I? Monsieur, I'm so embarrassed. I've forgotten your name yet again. My apologies. Gas, I represent Pan American Pictures. Congratulations, Monsieur Cayer. Thank you. Excuse us, madam. But yes. Now then, I happen to see you engaging in a very animated conversation with Ballinger just now. I hope he hasn't already started talking to you. He's trying to be quite sanctimonious. It's a good thing I came here. I would ask him a stupid question. You have nothing against the Americans. I have nothing against anyone. Why? All the better. I would like to talk to you in a more discreet place. Let's say at my place. Here is my card. As soon as possible this evening. If you are free. I'm afraid this evening. Good morning. One day doesn't matter to me. Although with such an important contract, I'm always in a hurry. You have to strike while the iron is hot. Can't you really get some time off tonight? My publisher still has to introduce me to a few journalists. Yes. Well, I understand that. As an aside, don't tell him anything about me for the time being. At Pan American Pictures, we deal directly with the authors. The interview later. Our method is direct contracts. So, see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. We're almost like two conspirators. You and me. Well, the main thing is that they're there. And I had to pester you again on the phone. Had you forgotten me already? I've been seeing so many people for the past 24 hours, but not all of them are offering me $300,000 in cash. Tell me, is that serious? No, I said $300,000. I could have said more or less, without any difficulty whatsoever. I felt compelled to state this explicitly, ensuring you would readily agree to my proposal of a covert visit. Take a seat. Scotch. Thank you. Lies was published in bookstores yesterday morning. I bought the book at 9 a.m. By 10 a.m. I knew what it was. It's amazing, my dear. It's the 8th sin of the samurai. What? Yes, like you, I lived in Japan for a long time. I was a newspaper correspondent in Tokyo. I have a whole series of novels that I've read in the original. You've translated 4 of them, very accurately, as far as I can tell. I was waiting for the 5th, the 7 sins of the samurai. But they didn't just translate that one. They have published it under their name, as if it were their own work. And what a crowning achievement. They even managed to secure the grand prize for literature with their work. What do you mean? That is to say, the likelihood of them encountering someone capable of reading Japanese fluently and who had actually read the original text was only 1 in a million. In other words, they're trying to blackmail me a little. How much? But it's a real pleasure to do business with you. 75. You have to be a bit more specific. 75 what? 75% of your rights? 75% you probably jumped. Besides, I haven't gotten any yet. But we have time, my dear. The entire time of your success. You don't have to pay all at once. We'll do it in flexible installments. Like an annuity. Have you been in this profession for a long time? For 10 minutes. I couldn't pass up an opportunity like this. I actually work in the film industry. I get asked occasionally to help with subtitling Japanese films for people. But they rarely show them here. With regards to my job in Tokyo, things, shall we say, weren't entirely straightforward. Big enough that it's in some file. Ooh. Maybe in the police archives. Bravo, the counterattack. I like that, but I'm sorry, Kerr. There's no point in fighting back. Consider, for instance, sending this copy of The 7 Senses of the Samurai times to the Japanese publisher, along with Adi's lies, coupled with a concise explanation. Then you're done for. Is that what you want? You're being blunt. The fact is, this novel hasn't been reprinted since 1936, and the author is, unfortunately, now largely forgotten. Not by everyone. I have a copy of the original edition in very good condition. Prove it. You seriously underestimate me. Monsieur Corpus Delicti is currently in my safe. Cracking safes is certainly fashionable, but it does require a certain amount of organization. Okay, let's forget about that. Let's get back to the figures. The demands you have presented are far too extravagant, and I must reject them in their entirety. However, I do have a counterproposal to put forward. I'll sign a promissory note for, let's say, 50,000 francs in exchange for the delivery of your evidence. That's not so bad, is it? You must be joking, Monsieur Cayer. What you're offering me are the crumbs of the banquet. You have no choice. Accept it quickly before I go upstairs. Monsieur Gassin. Is that your last word? The very last. Yes? I'm afraid you're right. I have no choice. Slowly. I abhor violence when they beat me. When I beat them. But no, Gassan. I'll kill you. They wanted this conversation to remain secret. No one will know that I went to them. They won't do that. If they touch me, scream. Under no circumstances will they have any more time to do that. Let me go. I agree with the... No, you bastard. I did something mean. That's true. But it shouldn't have been in vain. At least you're afraid. I had no other choice. He had me in his grip. I would have paid diligently, month after month, year after year. And then, just to humiliate me, he would have reported me. You don't say that. Are you afraid of me too? No. You feel shame because I am a deceiver and a killer. Understood? I would have done exactly as you did. Did anyone see you leave his place? No, that means an old woman. She took the elevator up. I went downstairs. She didn't recognize you. I don't know. About a dozen people were at the reception the other day and witnessed me chatting with Gasa. He hasn't told anyone about his intentions. No one knows he's been in touch with you. The police will snoop around in his past. You're not part of his past. Plus, my fingerprints were present on the whiskey glass and on the rope. I thought I was very clever. Using his phone's cord, I quietly, but firmly, tugged him towards me. I was relieved. I didn't regret anything. It's only now that I'm realizing the extent of my unbelievably stupid mistake. I've killed for nothing. My arrest will happen soon, within a few hours, perhaps even a few days, and it won't be classified as an accident or as a justified act of self-defense. The sir was a pest. No escape existed for you, other than to trample down this vermin. It was unavoidable. He would have blackmailed you your whole life, especially now that we've finally reached our goal. All our plans are going up in smoke. Oh, I don't feel any remorse for killing him. If it were just me, there would be no problem at all for me. But it's because of you, darling. You've learned, unfortunately, that you are the wife of a man who is both a plagiarist and a criminal. I illegally took possession of a literary prize by falsely presenting myself as being possessed of the talent of a dead person. I'm afraid of your contempt. Stop talking nonsense, Philip. You're blessed with talent, and you are certainly capable of writing another bestseller, one that will leave you without owing anyone anything. You're just forgetting one thing, that in all likelihood I will end up in prison soon and risk the maximum sentence. That is to say, if I have thought about it carefully. If I voluntarily turn myself in to the police, completely spontaneously, that will certainly be taken into account when determining the sentence. I'm going to explain how Gassar pushed me to the absolute limit, and how my reaction was purely instinctive, with no intention of killing whatsoever. I have to do it, Odell. Otherwise, I would not have a moment's peace. I would be incapable of holding a pen. Don't you understand that, Philip? If the need to lighten your conscience is strong, then you would be wiser to seek the counsel of a capable and trustworthy lawyer. You cannot face the police all by yourself. You are too clumsy. A lawyer will at least give you useful advice. I have an idea. Lawyer Fosser. But he hasn't been conducting trials for years. He acted just like any criminal defense lawyer who achieved fame and recognition in their field. He has retreated into the world of business. That is more profitable. That may be the solution. He was the one who managed to get Dr. Win Jung acquitted back then, and all the others. He has been compared to the criminal lawyer Floriat. He has a certain aura, a kind of magnetism that no juror can resist. If you like, I'll make an appointment with him. Get some rest, Philip. You've done enough stupid things for today. You call that stupid? Am I right here with Rex Fresser? Indeed. My wife made an appointment. I want to see you regarding a matter of some urgency, but you can see him right there, in person. I'm a lawyer, Frosar. Oh, come in. Please. I'm semi-retired. I've moved my practice into my private apartment. Please excuse the mess. My cleaning lady is sick. Please sit down. Thank you. Your face looks somehow familiar to me. My name is Philip here. That's right. I saw it on TV. Just think, to achieve this, to win the grand prize for literature with a historical crime story, is nothing short of a remarkable accomplishment. If you'll pardon me, I haven't yet read your book, but I must say, I found the setting to be exceptionally original and very well executed. Yes, ancient Japan. You have to think of that first. Please forgive me, Mr. Lawyer. The primary reason for my visit here wasn't to talk about my book, Ali, but rather to focus on your rights. I can imagine that. Your publisher has dictated an extortionate contract to you, and the lion's share of your rights goes into his pocket, right? Yeah, don't worry about it. You can appeal that. Well, yes, but that shouldn't prevent us from raising a glass to their success and all the further triumphs to come. No, really not. It's too early. Oh, that's a mistake. It's an excellent whiskey after all. Show me your contract. If you would, sir, please don't make this any more difficult for me. I've come to put my fate in your hands. I became a murderer yesterday. Please don't say anything now. I'll tell you everything. Interesting. Very interesting. And you've decided to turn yourself in to the police. I see no other way out. I'd rather turn myself in than be treated with contempt for the next few hours. That would be in my favor, wouldn't it? Not at the moment, anyway. I may not have known Garçon, but he was certainly a person it was best to keep one's distance from. You know how it goes. The investigation of cases of this nature typically begins with a thorough examination of the victim's past. Wait until you know a little more about this Garçon. When his reputation has been completely ruined, the public's opinion will, inevitably, begin to shift. At the moment, how should I put it? His corpse is still too beautiful. But excuse me, all the evidence points against me. My arrest is imminent. I left my fingerprints on him. Fingerprints. The great panic of criminals. Have you ever had any dealings with the law, Monsieur Claire? No, not yet. Then think about it for a moment. I'm sure you're not thinking that the police are going to take the fingerprints of every single person in this city, are you? No. What bothers me is this plagiarism business. And even if I succeed in getting them acquitted, I can't clear them of it. An irreparable stain on your reputation as a writer. There surely has to be some way to keep this detail from getting out. Gossa must have blackmailed you for another reason. What was it? That's the whole problem. In any case, you are prepared to defend me, yes. And how? This is a rather exceptional case, and consequently, I require some time to adequately prepare for it. I haven't conducted criminal proceedings for 3 years. I can no longer react the way I used to. You can calm down. I sense that it's coming back. The most important thing right now is that you don't lose your mind. Otherwise you'll be lost, like I was 3 years ago. We're in a bit of the same situation. Monsieur Clee, I don't understand. You're reading this newspaper. It's been lying on my desk for 3 years. Excuse me. I honestly had no idea that all three, my wife, my daughter, and my son-in-law had been killed instantly. The court had the final say. The truck driver was sentenced to 12 months in prison. His driver's license was also revoked. I wanted to persevere. Time is a thing that erases everything. Time has erased nothing at all. As for my work, but you had a name. All your colleagues envied you. That's right. But crime has evolved. How about everything? Be open. Don't regret having entrusted your interest to a lawyer who is almost at the end of his rope. I have confidence in you, Mr. Lawyer. You are bringing me the file I have long dreamed of. I've always trusted I could share this tough loss, and you guys will back me, supporting me each step along the way. I take your case under advisement and shall draw you out of the perilous position you have created for yourself. You have only thought of your wife, of your family. I shall give back to you the things which I no longer have. I will take care of you. Totally. Therefore, I am only authorized to request a small advance from you. 2 lines on the 3rd page. No one is interested in the affair anymore. It's a trap. Yesterday, there was talk of a new set of facts. The newspapers write whatever they want. There is no new fact. There is the routine of the investigating officers, but patience. They take their time. Yes, like anglers. But in this case, I'll start by fiddling around. Stop torturing yourself, Philip. Think about your next text instead. What next text? When did he go crazy? He imagines that it just happens. I have no idea at all. I feel completely empty. It would be so satisfying to just shout the truth in his face. If he is a journalist, go outside. No, Philip. You will receive him politely. You will tell him about your plans. Promise me. Agreed. Leave me alone with him. My plans. Monsieur Carlier, I apologize very much. Chief Inspector, I will not keep you long. I know you are very busy. Chief Inspector, if you would like to sit down, please do come in at your convenience. Thank you. I saw an interview on TV last night. Looks like you want to write a real-life crime novel, don't you? I'm not completely sure yet. It could be that the plot has some criminal elements, although only alluded to subtly, serving essentially as a mechanism, a narrative tool, to allow for a comprehensive psychological examination of the character in question. You don't need to apologize for that. I certainly don't belong to the group that considers the detective novel to be a second-rate literary form. The role demands considerable imagination, keen insight, and a great deal of tact. I really don't want to take up any more of your valuable time. It might be that you aren't paying very close attention to current events at this time. We have a difficult case on our hands. A somewhat questionable adventurer has been strangled to death in his home with the cord of his telephone. A certain Leon Garza. I'm sure I read something about it in the newspaper. Yes, perhaps you can help us. I'll quickly piece together the facts. It's pretty certain that this is a morality story. To be perfectly frank, Gass was a practicing homosexual. Of course, he didn't go around talking about it everywhere. This complicates our work. Theoretically, everything seems clear. He possibly might have been murdered by one of the young individuals who were visitors to his home. But by whom? Forgive me, but I honestly don't see in what way I could be of assistance to you, if at all. I have nothing to do with homosexuality. I have a charming wife. Oh yes. Yes, I noticed that earlier. No, my intention was to discuss Gasser's activities in Tokyo from a few years ago with you. Your prior residence was in Japan, as I understood from the information provided in your interview. I was born. My father was an embassy counselor. I spent my entire childhood with Japanese playmates. That gave me the opportunity to explain their language and later translate several novels. Well, that's a good thing. Would you be able to translate this letter here? Please. It's a photocopy. The original was confiscated from Gasser. I'll translate something like this. My dearest friend. I'll be free in a month, and once I am, I'll come to you. I haven't forgotten you. I've never forgotten you. Wait for me. Signature Tatashi. Oh, is that a declaration of love? In a way, yes. Oh yes. That confirms the initial results of our investigation. Tadashi, thank you very much. He's Japanese, likely homosexual as well, and just recently arrived in our area. Should be an Earth murderer. Well, we haven't gotten that far yet. If anything, the only certain detail we have is that Gar had to abandon Tokyo in a rush. He found himself embroiled in a scandal of a moral nature, necessitating his immediate departure. Young people from a good family, but especially the son of a minister. But that's not all. Garcia had several irons in the fire. Drugs, blackmail. But did you find nothing at all? Not even, I don't know, any evidence, fingerprints, or any witnesses? We have more than enough clues. We have found fingerprints of more than 10 people. Gass's house hosted 5 or 6 visitors on certain nights. Sometimes, they all arrived at once. So, I'm very sorry for the interruption, Mr. Kier, but I completely overlooked congratulating you. I read Adil's Lies in one go. It's a novel, not like this shabby story. Is he gone? Did you overhear our conversation? While I didn't grasp everything that was said, I didn't come away with the impression that the entire situation was a carefully constructed ruse. You have absolutely no reason to lose your head. I'm telling you, they're swimming. He and his colleagues. I'm starting to feel bad about getting in touch with Rexamfar so quickly. Oh, actually, he's bound by his sworn confidentiality. Yes, of course. You're putting a knife to my throat, Monsieur Van. No. A novel, the kind that works well for a TV adaptation, always definitely cannot be written in just 5 minutes. They're gonna say goodbye to your lies now, and I have the feeling that I won't recognize my child anymore. I mean, you know the saying, too many cooks spoil the broth. Right? This doesn't concern you anymore. Leave it to these Fox experts to create a television version that fits their personal style. I've managed to give you the right to check. That's something, after all. I insist on doing a job. It's a matter of honesty. Don't waste your time. The contract has been signed. That belongs in the past. Yes, I require the completion of another book within the next 3 months. The length isn't crucial, but the book must be suitable for adaptation into a multi-episode television series. I wish he weren't criticized for being what some might call a one-book man. If you have a fun board, then you must also make use of it. I'm sorry, it'll just be botched. Just not that. I expect the same quality from the inside as for Goodbye, Your Lies, but in a different place, in a different milieu. They released Tadashi. No alibi, no evidence. So, it's alleged that the deer extorted Nakota Sai in a drug-related case during the festival. Let's just discard this newspaper now.
It's irrelevant anyway. That's in the past. You can sleep soundly. The Garson affair is set to be archived in the coming weeks. You have completely different things to do, Philip. Juan called again this morning.
Oh, I'm not a glutton. An episodic detective story is like a good meal. You need a beginning, li, a development, e, an ending, exactly. Your starting point is excellent. There's not just the start, koi. There's also the arrival. Yes, but your introduction allows for a whole range of developments. That's a great idea. The scene depicts this woman receiving a telegram, the message within informing her of her husband's death in a devastating plane crash in Africa. What does she do? With the initial flurry of excitement having subsided, she begins to sift through Julia's papers, ultimately uncovering a rather compromising document, one she is specifically instructed to open in the event of his death. The letter contains a confession from her husband. He admits to killing the man she loved in order to secure her marriage to him. Okay, but I don't know how it continues. I'm at a dead end. On the contrary, imagine that for some reason, Julian has missed this plane. He's coming home. She knows everything, and he doesn't know that she knows everything. You can capitalize on this situation. Your idea is brilliant. I can already see the sequel. This starting point can be expanded in all directions. You will see, my dear, in 6 months you will have your own fashion boutique. I've always trusted in your talent, and now I will brew you a very strong cup of coffee, just so that you can enjoy it. You have the whole day ahead of you to write. You have good material. The Guerin affair is as good as closed. Nothing can really happen to you now. So now I leave you to your inspiration. Do. You think so? Yes. Hello. Who? Who is it? Oh, you are a lawyer. Excuse me, but I did not recognize your voice. Warn. Immediately. No, that is impossible. I am very busy. What a new situation. Good, agreed. I will be with you in an hour. Our business is going very well, Monsieur Gliet. Providence has granted us a new situation. Gasson robbed a certain number of customers, and they were supposed to pay because of their father. Because of my father? Counselor at the embassy in Tokyo for over 10 years. Gasson determined to defame his memory, doing so by relentlessly spreading a succession of malicious, false statements about him. Let me continue. Your father held a very important position. It was inevitable that he would have access to secrets, and that is the natural desire of diplomats. Now, Gasson was a press correspondent in Tokyo. With a personality such as his, it was straightforward for him to collect several pieces of evidence, or what could be interpreted as evidence, against anyone, including your father. And the idea of making money from this evidence came to him the day you became a famous man. Yes, the matter is already settled. Their motives in killing Garson were not based on a petty plagiarism scandal, but rather on a resolute determination to preserve the honor of their father. In a way, a noble murder. Though the idea is well conceived, wouldn't there be a chance that it might ultimately backfire instead? Would the foundation of play upon this lead people to seriously question the integrity and moral standing of my case? No. I am committed to proving that Gassa had no file at all, that he was content to bluff and wear her nerves. Just one example. For the sake of argument, let's say I suddenly begin making all sorts of slanderous accusations against your wife. I bluntly tell her to her face that their literary prize was awarded solely because her wife had an affair with a member of the jury. I make no apologies for the truth. What's your reaction going to be if I threaten to disclose everything to the journalists? I'll definitely fare well if she just accepts not to do any violence at all. Honestly, I admit that her argument has some substance. Besides, who knows? Madame Kerr is a very pretty woman, and it's quite likely that when she was still active in the advertising industry, she didn't shy away from using her charm to her advantage with certain gentlemen. You, please. Excuse me, you? See? You fell for it. I had warned you. I only had to adopt a slightly different tone. Yes, but that's all just an abstraction. I'm not accused yet. Your appearance before the investigating judge cannot be postponed any longer. We must proceed immediately. The conditions for a voluntary disclosure have never been so favorable. Why should I turn myself in? In a matter of weeks, the Gast affair will be closed and filed away. Monsieur Carlier, I have undergone a terrible ordeal. I almost succeeded, only to fail by the narrowest of margins, and that narrow failure left countless traces. But on one point, I have remained intact in my capacity as a lawyer. One thing is to defend a criminal before a jury and even secure his acquittal. Quite another, becoming his accomplice to prevent him from facing justice, is a completely different matter. Say it quite openly. If I do not turn myself in voluntarily, will you do it in my place? In your own interest? You will never find your inner peace again. When you, failing to fulfill your duty of disclosure, initially told me that we were in the same situation, there was, however, a significant difference separating us. This crucial distinction was overlooked at the time. I am ascending, while you, on the other hand, are descending. In your day, you were a truly excellent lawyer, but you faded into obscurity. You cannot bear that. As you can see from my situation, this presents an excellent chance to begin a second career. I regret that I cannot be of service to you, but you will understand that I have no desire to offer myself as a sacrificial victim when you are also after money. You can have that. Basically, I owe you compensation. I am depriving you of your most beautiful asset. You think I am a
scoundrel.
You are currently in the process of blackmailing me in a certain way. I think we have said everything, Monsieur Carlier. Perhaps you are not aware, but a lawyer possesses the ability to always waive their obligation to uphold professional secrecy. He is bluffing. His professional secrecy is inviolable. With him, I am prepared for anything now. He really didn't want to lose face in your presence, but frankly, he's just not in a position to report you. That would come out, and that would be the end of him. Because he places so much value on his honor, he should realize that displaying such cowardice would earn him no forgiveness whatsoever. He was just trying to fool you. That's all. No way I'd go to him. Odo, absolutely not. This is a personal matter between the two of us. Okay, I'll go now. I'll go to Who, and he also has something to say to me. This is just an outline, sir. You can't judge a work by an outline. What? You call it a work? It's crap. Yes, sir. Crap. Carry on as you are, and you can expect to be forgotten within 3 months. I'm unsuitable for commissioned work. Point after point, which could easily become the final point for you. So do something, or are you letting your fame go to your head? I have a starting point, but I hesitate to present this text to you. Otherwise, you'll immediately attack my characters again. Come on, give it to me. A telegram arrives, bringing the devastating news to a woman. Her husband has perished in a plane crash. Her heart breaks with the awful reality. After the initial excitement has passed, she rummages through Julian's papers and discovers a very compromising note. Do not receive anyone. Go away. I am Madame Philip Carrier. Oh, come in. Thank you very much. But that is quite excellent, my dear. Well, at last we have the material. You see, I did a good job of shaking you up a bit. Yes, I will give you 2 months to write the book. 2 months? That seems a bit short to me. I cannot repeat that to you often enough. You must strike while the iron is hot. Please excuse me for not letting up. Kalir, you have no major worries that would remind you to devote yourself entirely to your work. Everyone has their worries. Yes, I do. But when you write, it is a luxury you cannot afford. Difficulties must be forgotten or eliminated. Exactly, that is my intention. Hey. It is a pleasure to meet you, Madame Claire. I am assuming you know all the details of your husband's situation, wouldn't you say? Completely. Otherwise, I would not be here. That is good. I am certain that, with your invaluable assistance, we will successfully persuade him to see reason and consent to the single definitive solution that will bring about his inner peace and tranquility. With my help? Oh yes, madame. By explaining to him exactly what his interests are. You'll ensure that he leaves the final decision to you. And what do you think is in his interests? That he surrenders himself to the public prosecutor, confess everything except his true motive. The strategy I've meticulously crafted for him is designed to ensure he receives the jury's complete and total leniency. And to be honest, I am quite skeptical about that. Murder is murder, monsieur. If Philip turns himself in, he will remain in custody for a year or two. This represents the complete and irrevocable abandonment of his literary work. And who is telling you that I, as the court, subscribe to your line of reasoning? Madam, it seems you are forgetting that I have won a much more difficult case than your husband's, with a decisive victory. My strategy, one that many of my colleagues have subsequently mastered, involves completely engrossing the jurors from the first sentence of my closing argument. I call it a blow and thrust. You will be convinced in a few seconds. Put yourself in the place of a juror, a member of the jury panel, who is judging your own husband. The scene is set. The prosecutor has just delivered his indictment. The president of the jury court announces that the defense has the floor. I stand up. I pause for a few seconds, allowing the court, my colleagues, the journalists, and the audience to settle in, anticipating what I am about to say. Then, I launch into my argument. Yes, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defense has the floor. But the man standing before you does not need to defend himself. The act he committed was not one of murder, but rather an act of self-defense. Philip Kaler is not a murderer. He is a champion of justice, a defender of what is right. Given the circumstances, his actions against this scoundrel, this particularly repugnant extortionist, were entirely justified. He could not have acted otherwise. And so, Philip Kaler, you are voluntarily sitting in the dock because you refuse to evade the verdict of this jury. A verdict that will be guided by the principles of our justice system, a system obligated to acquit you based on the overwhelming evidence supporting your innocence. Monsieur, are you done with your theatrics? Madame, what word could possibly capture the manipulative nature of your behavior? You play with people's emotions. You are a born manipulator, a skilled practitioner of psychological manipulation. You first attempted this tactic with my husband, attempting to... Yet because he wouldn't let himself be misused, you're now attempting to involve me in this issue. Please let me finish. You have not heard everything yet. Clearly, your selection of tactics isn't particularly discerning. You're ready to use any means necessary, even resorting to threats such as divulging professional secrets. I have asked a lawyer. Your professional secrecy is just as inviolable as the seal of confession of a priest. Breaking this will inevitably result in you being summoned to court. Oh, you will perhaps tell me that an anonymous letter to the public prosecutor will do just as well. Madame, I forbid you. You are insulting me. No, sir. I can see right through you. Exactly. You want this trial at all costs. But I do not deny that at all. Thanks to my talent, I have obtained acquittals for criminals of every caliber. However, the court, not I, was the one who ultimately acquitted them. You are overlooking an important detail. Those criminals were incarcerated behind bars, while Philip enjoyed his freedom. Exactly. He must have the courage to fulfill his obligation. That is his business, not theirs. But paying for their problem is not something my husband is obligated to do. My problem?
A problem that is nagging at them. Their return to criminal defense. You only had to hear them earlier. They are obsessed with the idea of becoming the great criminal defense lawyer Frost again. When Philip confessed his actions, they immediately sensed the potential for this sensational affair to bring them into the spotlight, allowing them to escape the shadows. If they could succeed in securing his acquittal, you would be right at the top again.
But madame, there is no doubt about that. I undertake to secure his acquittal. Are you so sure of that? Look at me, monsieur. Are you certain that you will rescue Philip from the justice system to which you intend to hand him over? No, you are trembling. You are doubting yourself. A comeback is not so easy. This trial is a test for you, an examination that you have to pass before the brilliant lawyer who has chosen you. Once were Mojam, but you are no longer. Be Akeley. You too are afraid that you might fail. You are very clever, madame. I had expected, from your side, tears, perhaps oaths, and maybe even some threats. I prepared myself to eliminate them. And now they are pleading against my performance, against my talent. They see doubts, as I used to. Yes, I think they have won. I give up. I am afraid. For 3 years, I have been afraid that I will no longer be at the height of my reputation. Yes, I'm experiencing stage fright, a level of nervousness that would surely overcome an actor who hasn't performed on stage in far too long. Imagine such an actor, now older and perhaps weakened by illness, attempting a return to the stage before an audience eager to criticize the slightest misstep. Here in my house, I feel invulnerable. I can already imagine your husband's trial. The words flow of themselves. The magic of comprehension works on people. I come to the end of my speech and the emotion reaches its peak. My applause even breaks out, and the president of the court has to call for silence. No one clapped their hands, and with that, I regained my composure. I stand here alone, surrounded by my 4 walls, my desk, my water bottle, and this mirror, which reflects my image back at me. From now on, this will be my audience. Go, Madame Collier. You alone have understood the farce I have played. I will do nothing against your husband. I will never see him again. I give you my word. Tell him. You will tell him yourselves. He will believe you. He must not know that I was with you. Were you with Warner? Yes, that actually went quite well. He accepts the rebo. I have regained my impetus. I think I will get to work immediately. Aren't you expected in the studio? I am not going. You want to see how they finish? You have to go. Why? Until I have convinced this unfortunate lawyer, you have to pull yourself together again, Philip. You have to have confidence in yourself. That is the only way to confront Attorney Frossard. He senses that you are weak, and he takes advantage of that. As soon as he knows that you are standing up to him, he will back down. He is not the same as he used to be. Everyone knows that. Do you think so? Okay, I'm going to the studio. I'll just call a taxi. Aren't you taking the car? I'm not in a position to drive. You drive your car and you won't have an accident and everything will go smoothly in the studio. I'm sure of that. I love you, Philip. I trust you. Hello. Odd? Oh, you're Philip. Where are you? Did something happen? Don't worry. I'm at the police station. I had a minor accident. No, you can rest assured. I'm not wrong. Just my car was hit really badly. I crashed into a parked truck. I'm not wrong at all. Trust me. I'm calling just to let you know that I'll be coming home considerably later than usual because of the required protocol. But that's just a formality. The truck was parked in the no parking. Is that really true? Aren't you saying that to reassure me? Believe me, I feel very good. Everything is fine. See you later. Have you read the newspaper, Philip? No, not yet. Here's something about Waldfat dead. Did he even start? No. He was run over by a car when he was crossing the street in front of his house. Killed instantly. And no witness could find the license plate number. Continuation on page 5. The material on page 5 presents numerous positive aspects of his work, albeit with some reservations. Just read the last paragraph. He became increasingly isolated from others after the horrific accident that befell his family. Philip, was your decision to drive your car into the truck intentional? Were those tracks you wanted to cover up? It had to be done. I went to see lawyer FR yesterday afternoon. He had given me his word. He waived his rights. What? He lied to you? No, he meant it sincerely. You humiliated yourself in front of him? No, you pig. In these times, no journalist can really be. It's Inspector Lomier. Oh yes. He probably has another text to translate like the other day. Leave me alone with him. Nice to see you, Chief Inspector. Can I be of any help to you? Certainly, Monsieur K. Certainly. Please sit down. Thank you. Is the case making any progress? Imagine that the investigation is taking a new direction. Still in the homosexual milieu? Well, no. Imagine our surprise when this accident to the lawyer sent us right back to the gas case. No one foresaw that this would happen, especially given the time that's passed. Of course you have heard of lawyer Ms. Sarah. The name rings a bell. Oh, don't say you don't know lawyer Ms. Sarah, if you possibly can avoid it. You know, the former one is Wald. Think about this. The person who hit him that Sunday morning, unknowingly, provided us with the name of the prize that went to Garrow's killer. Without him, we would still be groping in the dark. Now, I don't understand anything at all anymore. Well, you underestimate yourself. F. For a crime writer, E, these are the basics of art. If in the event that someone dies a violent death, the police conduct a search of their home, that's part of the routine. Less likely, however, is that they discover the common thread that leads directly to Burgergasse. Does this imply, or suggest, that lawyer Miss Sarr had any participation whatsoever in this particular incident? Much more likely. He was the accomplice, the notary, if I may put it that way. Observe that whenever Attorney Frostar delivered his closing argument before the jury, he always did so without making any recording at all. He was credited with having both considerable talent and remarkable improvisational abilities, attributes due to his exceptional gifts. Nothing could be more untrue than that. Forar wrote his text, recorded it on tape, and learned it by heart. This is a true example of professional etiquette. Then, take his very last case, for example. You allow me to use your tape recorder. I will now put this cassette inside, the one we found inside his security strongbox, sir. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen. Of the jury, it is now time to hear the defense. The floor is theirs. But the man standing before you does not need to defend himself. The act he committed was not a murder, but self-defense. The reality is, Philip Cal is not a murderer, but a true advocate for justice. He could not have acted otherwise in the face of this Gar, the most disgusting of all extortionists. I have an arrest warrant for you, Monsieur Carotin. Do you see him? You heard that the defense has the floor. By Maurice Roland and André Picot. Translated from the French by Eugen L. Languages: Attorney Fran Peter Passetti, Philippe Volker, Kreft Odul Jutta Holland, Jean Garcin, Wolf Dietrichberg, Henri van Hines, Schimpfenig. Inspector Alan Lomier Wolfgang Forrester. Directed by Wolf Ramraman. A production of the West German broadcaster Rundfunk Köln from 1982.